and welcome to our Airstream Airbnb that we've been staying in Travelers Rest, South Carolina. We mentioned in our last video that we were staying in an Airstream, but we wanted to obviously show it off to y'all in true Riley Rooms fashion right before we check out of this place. So behind Andrew is a pretty large seating area, dining area. It also converts into about a full-size bed. This Airstream was built in 1974, so they've kind of gone with a 70s vintage retro vibe in here, which is super cute. They've got a ton of like old classic movies. They've got very old video games that we played some of last night. Spoiler alert, the pixel quality is not what it is today, believe it or not. They've also got a cassette player, tapes, if you know what that is, cassette tapes. It's got a very cool retro vibe. It's also super colorful in here. Follow me along this way. You enter into the kitchen area of the Airstream. We've got about an apartment size fridge here, which is nice. There's an induction cooktop, coffee, small sink. There's lots of storage above and below for pots and pans, spices, all that kind of stuff. And then if you keep going back, here's your privacy curtain for your bedroom privacy. If you come back into this area, you've got where we've been sleeping in two twin-size beds right here. Riley is still recovering from all her walking the past couple of days. But yeah, these beds are super comfy. I think they're a little bit narrower than normal twin-size beds, but they're longer. But yeah, very comfy. We didn't want to make up the bed in the front. That seemed like a task, so we just decided to sleep here. Going along with the retro 70s vibes, they've got some super old fun games up here. I think they've probably got about like 20-25 games, so no shortage of games to play if you're having a relaxing day inside. The very back of the Airstream is the bathroom area. So the bathroom's a pretty good size for a tiny Airstream bathroom. It does have a shower, which we have not used, and we'll show you why here soon. It's got a sink, some storage space. It has a composting toilet, which is super easy to use. We've used a couple before in some of our stays. We've really loved staying here. We would highly recommend it to anyone coming to Travelers Rest, South Carolina. It's a super cute, cozy place. We definitely want to show you all of the outside amenities because it does have a lot of outside amenities. So Andrew is going to give you the outside tour.
The outdoor amenities of this Airstream Airbnb are also just as incredible as the inside. First off, as soon as you walk outside the door, you are greeted with this absolutely beautiful deck with a nice little sitting area for you as well. Right behind me is a fairly large fire pit area. A couple of chairs, couple of tables, enough space for everybody, as well as some of the most free firewood that I have ever seen. Coming off the stairs of the deck, you have the barbecue area behind me where we cooked out hamburgers on our first night here. Now Candace had mentioned that we hadn't taken a shower inside the entire time, even though we've been here for almost a week. And that is because this Airbnb has an outdoor shower, which is absolutely incredible. If you've never taken an outdoor shower, it is 10 times more enjoyable than an inside shower. Although I will say that if you sing super loudly here, the neighbors can probably hear you, unlike a normal shower. On the other side of the barbecue pit area is a giant two-person hammock that Riley and I have enjoyed a couple evenings in together, as well as a dartboard. And they do have some outdoor games inside the Airstream as well. Just mentioned that the toilet inside is a composting toilet, which leads us to the composting area. You are responsible for dumping one of the parts of the composting toilet. As you can see here, I'll let you use your imagination. There's a section labeled number 1, and there's a section labeled number 2. You can figure it out. The yard here is absolutely gorgeous. It is super grassy and smooth and almost completely fenced in. So Riley has enjoyed running around here in the evenings, stretching her legs after all of the hiking we've done. So Candace is getting some vertical footage for our Instagrams and stuff like that outside. I'm going to get Riley packed up, load up the last bit of stuff from the car, and head to our next stop, which is the Travelers Rest History Museum, to learn a little bit more about the area that we've been staying in. We decided to add a little pit stop on our way to the Travelers Rest History Museum and swung by Furman University.
We're enrolling in classes.
Yep, I am taking Taylor Swift 101, and Riley is taking How to Make Everyone Do Everything For You and Rub Your Butt 202. She's a little bit more advanced than I am.
No, we came to see if we could spot the bell tower, which is on a lake pond here at Furman University. It was rated as like a really pretty place to stop by if you have the time, and it's very pretty.
Yeah, we weren't really sure how far or how close we could get to it because it was a college campus, and I told Candace I was just going to drive until the security guard stopped me, but apparently people come visit here pretty frequently. Parking is pretty limited, but yeah, at least you can get up close and get some good footage of it. So now that we've seen the bell tower, we are indeed heading to the Travelers Rest History Museum. The museum building was originally a grocery store in downtown Travelers Rest, just a few miles down the road. It was donated and relocated here to the southern edge of town in 2010, where it restarted its life as a museum. The town of Travelers Rest has existed for over 300 years at the foothill of the Blue Ridge Mountains. This area has been used as a place for people to rest and regain strength after crossing the Appalachian Mountains. Native Americans, cattle drovers, and stagecoaches carrying families up from the South Carolina Lowcountry would regather themselves here. We learned that the original town name had 2 L's in Travelers, but when it came time to make the new post office sign, there wasn't enough space for the second L. Without asking for permission or guidance, the sign was made misspelled, and that's the way it's been ever since. This free museum gave a great explanation of the origin of the town's name, as well as laid out incredible glimpses into the people and history that make up this town. While it's only open on the weekends, if you get the opportunity, we definitely recommend checking this place out.
We did want to mention before we leave the Travelers Rest History Museum that the parking area for the museum is also public parking for the Swamp Rabbit Trail that's literally right behind the museum right here. The Swamp Rabbit Trail actually connects Travelers Rest, South Carolina to Greenville, South Carolina. There's a bunch of interesting stops to see along the way, but it's just like a trail through this wooded area back here. The bell tower at Furman University that we were just at is actually just about 4 miles from here down the trail, so it's something you could stop to see while you're walking or biking along the Swamp Rabbit Trail. So yeah, if you had more time, you like biking, you like walking, it would be a good trail to see a lot of the area. We have left the Travelers Rest Museum and come into downtown Travelers Rest to stop at a place called Tandem Creperie for some, you guessed it,
Crepes.
burgers and fries.
Oh.
For some crepes and some coffee. Andrew loves crepes. They're his favorite food.
There's probably like 3 people in the world right now that are already cracking up laughing just because I'm at a creperie. I'm talking about you. You 3. You know who you are. I'm not going to say your names on YouTube, but you know who you are. I'm going to let Candace tell it.
The crepe story is...
Give the quick version.
Is one time we were staying at an all-inclusive in Cancun, and this place had a little like fancy crepe cart, and you got a crepe that was like chocolate and hazelnut,
like a normal crepe.
But
it's my first one ever, by the way.
But they put them in these little like, well, you know how a crepe plate comes into like a little pointy triangle. They put them in like a little cone thing shaped like that. But I don't know if Andrew was just clumsy. That doesn't sound like him. Or if the cone thing had like a weird hole in the bottom of it. But he was eating the crepe, and then he realized that basically the entire contents of the crepe had just spilled out of the little funnel hole there, all over his entire outfit he was wearing. We were about to go to dinner, so he had to go back to the room and change, and then he realized when he was coming back.
Can I tell this part? When I was coming back to meet them at the restaurant, by the way, there's a picture, I'll put it right here, of after I cleaned it. That's what it looks like. When I was coming back to the restaurant, there was just little drops of chocolate. I mean, it was so much all over the place. The place where I was standing, there was like a puddle. It was on the walls. And the worst part of it is when I came back, there was like a cleaning crew out, like mopping the chocolate up off the floor. And it was so embarrassing because I was just covered in chocolate.
Yeah. But anyways, we're going to hope to not recreate that experience today.
Napkins.
Napkins are handy. But I got the lumberjack crepe. It is quite large. I think I'll need some help eating this. It is ham, bacon, cheese, maple syrup is on top with like cinnamon and sugar, and I have already forgotten how to say this word, bechamel.
Bechamel.
Bechamel, which is what?
It's like a French cream sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not all that fancy. It's just a pretty basic sauce.
And then I just got a iced caramel latte.
Now, Candace might have to help me because I'm running the camera here. Here. I got the cinnamon roll crepe.
It smells better.
Cinnamon, cream cheese icing, and pecans on top. 0 chocolate. And my coffee of choice, shout out to anybody that can name it before I show you what I got. What do I always get? Cappuccino. It's probably gonna be good. Smells like coffee.
But this place is really cute. I don't know if they always have this, but they actually had a little like vintage VW looking bus thing outside that is actually where you ordered from. But there is like an actual restaurant. I'm not sure, but it said you ordered from the bus today. But anyways, it's a cute place. There's a lot of outdoor seating, a lot of indoor seating as well.
Not a lot of parking.
No parking, and we're here on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So. Take me a while too.
Okay.
Sorry for that pause. I got way too big of a bite there. That was delicious. The crepe is like super duper fluffy. Tastes like a very giant fluffy pancake. And the ham, bacon, egg. I forgot egg. Egg is in there. I thought I was missing an ingredient. Tastes great with the syrup and the bechamel. Tastes like a caramel latte.
Not sure why Candace's is so much larger than mine, but that's okay. The cinnamon roll crepe. Yeah, Candace is right. See? Normal size bite. Doesn't take me 45 minutes. Super fluffy crepe, but still nice and crispy on the edges, which is to me is the best part of a crepe. Oh yeah, loaded down with cinnamon and that cream cheese filling, and the pecans make it. The cappuccino. By the way, I'm ripping off Try Guys when I do that. Oh, yes. We have an espresso maker at home, and I get very addicted to having an espresso every day. And for me not to have one is pretty hard, but this is delicious. Yeah, it's really good. Wow.
Yeah, so definitely stop by Tandem Creperie next time you're in Traveler's Rest.
And this is this is right next to the place where we got Riley's French fry the other day, Shortfield. It's literally right there, and then the Creperie is right there. So it's all pretty small.
Yeah, it's a small but super cute looking downtown area. That's actually gonna end our South Carolina series.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish our crepes and then we're gonna head up the road and back home.
We were hoping to stay a little bit longer this time, but we actually already have some trips booked, so we kind of had a fast turnaround on this time.
That's right, we know where we're going next.
2 places, 3 places. We know the next 3 places we're going. That doesn't always happen. So this was our first time exploring this side of South Carolina, and we are so glad that we kind of went somewhere different and not just like the beach coastal part, which we've done a lot. This was an incredibly beautiful area, and I'm not surprised because it's like South Carolina or anything. I'm just so surprised at how much stuff there was to do around here. It was incredible.
Yeah, a ton of outdoor stuff. Literally the most state parks I've ever seen in one area, I think.
Candace and I are taking a little couples getaway retreat without Riley. Where do we go every single fall? Maine. We are heading back up to Maine. It's our 4th or 5th year in a row spending autumn in Maine. You can't beat it. It's too perfect. So we have a few nights booked at the Blackwoods Campground in Acadia National Park, which is where we went a couple years ago. We took Riley last time, but this time we're just going to do a little getaway without her. There's going to be some trails that we'll be able to go to that we normally can't bring her on. But lots of incredible, beautiful, foliage-filled fall adventures coming out on Riley Roams. So as always, we'll see y'all somewhere.
Thanks for watching Riley Roams. Click subscribe to keep up with all of our latest travels, and don't forget to click that like button too.